So, jumping off from the lullaby that my dad sang me a bunch as a kid, I'm now going to play y'all the lullaby that my mom sang me a bunch as a kid. Um, I guess they would just take turns, or maybe I would request one or the other. I don't know. You know how kids are. Sometimes they're like, no, I want daddy to sing to me tonight, or no, I want mommy to sing to me tonight. Who knows? I'm sure my mom and dad could tell all of you what my habits were as a child. Actually, I don't even remember. So yes, mom and dad, tell me, what did I do as a kid? All I know is I loved lullaby time. Like, I guess y'all read stories to me too, but I more remember lullabies than anything. I feel like we read books during the day, and then at nighttime it was lullabies. That's all I wanted. I wanted songs because I've always loved music. Um, when was I talking to my mom about this recently? Bada, bada, bada. What was the song? I was talking about my mom being a great singer. I know this was not that long ago. I should remember. Whatever. Y'all will probably know what I'm talking about. Because I was saying how my mom is such a great singer, which she is, and always has been. But after that video, we were texting each other, and she was telling me that, yeah, absolutely. Because I guess I was saying that I've just always loved music from as long as I can remember. And she was reminding me that the singing group she was in that I was telling y'all about, that was the time she was pregnant with me that she joined their group. So she was like playing their songs and singing along to them to learn her part, like constantly, and then singing with the group constantly. So, you know, in utero, I was getting so much of my mom singing and just music, period, but especially of my mom singing. So I've always loved her voice, and probably why I always wanted to emulate it and also sing. But just, I think that's one of the main reasons I'm so just, I have to be musical somehow. And thankfully I do have a voice that I can use whenever I want to, and I don't have to have an instrument. Whereas some people, just singing is not a thing they're good at. So if they want to be musical, they would have to do it through an instrument. And thankfully, I have the ability to do both now. Yay! Or again, I should say, I've played instruments in the past, but never sung and played at the same time in the past. So this whole learning the ukulele and singing with it is a brand new thing for me, and it's great. I love it so much. I mean, I say it's brand new. It's been since, it was either the very tail end of April or early May, whatever. Right around that time is when I started. Um, where was I going with all of this? Whatever. So she would sing the song to me, and okay. Well, two quick things. Well, no. Let me tell you the history of the song real quick because it's important. It's interesting. And she didn't know this. Like, she had no idea. So she heard this song on the TV, and she told me the name of the group that sang it. I feel like it was a group of sisters, the something sisters. Mom, put it in the comments on the YouTube video so other people can know which version you saw on television. It was like one of those late night shows or whatever that would have performers. And she, I think, just heard it the once because that's all. And you couldn't record things back then. There, in shows like that, they didn't play reruns of. So she just heard it and it stuck with her, and she remembered enough of it that she was able to sing it to me. And so again, I'm going to sing the whole song. She didn't sing the entire song to me as a kid. I don't quite remember how much of it she sang to me. I think she still remembers her version, but she still hasn't recorded it for me. Because I'm starting to forget which part. Like, I know specific parts that I remember her singing, but I don't remember all of what. And I think her version was just a little different because, again, she heard it one time. And that's darn impressive. Like, I couldn't do that these days, I don't think. Like, hear a song once and go away being able to remember I mean, maybe the main melody, or the main chorus, I should say, melody, but many of the words, unless it repeated it a lot in the song, and some songs do repeat the chorus like 5 times, but this song doesn't. And I found the version that she was talking about and listened to it, and I don't. Yeah, they just sing through the whole song, so she just caught part of it, it stuck in her head, and she turned it into a lullaby for me, which is just so cool. So she just loved the song. She thought it was a really, really pretty song and thought it would be a good lullaby, and it was. And turns out this is actually an old Negro lullaby, and I'm not trying to be racist in saying Negro. I literally mean this was probably during slave times, that, and I think I found, I was doing research on this back when I first did or found the song and practiced it and so forth. I think I did find a couple of different art or writers attributed to it, but I don't know that either one was the original writer of the song. I feel like it predated this or them. And the reason I think this is, if you look for the lyrics of this song, what I'm gonna sing is slightly different. It's the white version. The original lyrics make it quite obvious that this was written by slaves, I would say, or at least in their dialect. So it may have been after slavery had ended, but there was still a lot of time there where people of color were not able to be educated, weren't taught to read or write, or any of that, and they still had their slang held over from slavery, etc. All of that is just to say that this is a very old song that has really cool roots, and I'm not trying to take away from that being a white woman singing it. So any of my friends of color who watch this video, or anybody who's not a friend of mine but just happens upon this, who is a person of color, I will apologize if this is offensive for me to sing. I'm not trying to be at all. This is literally just a lullaby that was sung to me when I was a baby, so it has a very special place in my heart. So I hope that in singing it, I am teaching it to others and helping it carry on a legacy that maybe it would lose otherwise. Not that I'm saying that my reach is that grand. Like, not a lot of people are going to see this video, so I'm not saying that I'm gonna help perpetuate the history or the lastingness. That's not a word. You know what I mean? To make the song go into future generations, etc. If I had a kid and I was singing it to them, yeah, that's how I would do that. But I don't have kids, and I'm not gonna have kids, so this is my version of that, is singing it for y'all. I hope that came across right. I'm really not trying to offend anyone. But I think it's important to point out where the song originated, because that, I don't want to take away from that. I think that's really important and beautiful that they came up with so many beautiful songs back then, and I'm sure a lot of them have been lost, sadly. Nobody was paying attention. Nobody was writing those down. Nobody was recording those, or once they did later on, they, I don't know about a lot. I think I heard of at least one white guy who went around to people of color and did write down and record, or I don't know if record is the word, but made the chords, the note, whatever. Yeah, I guess recorded the notes as well, the melodies as well as the lyrics, but then would attribute it to themselves, like they wrote it, like they put their name on it. And I'm like, screw you, guy, you didn't write this. Like, you know full well you got this from other people. Excuse me. So I am not about that. Like, the people who did that, no, bad, shame on you. They absolutely should have. And sometimes it's just a matter of they even the people who knew it, who were teaching it to this white person, they may have no idea who originally wrote it, because it could have been written, generations before them. So, part of that is also the case, because there was no written record from the people who wrote it. It was just handed down vocally, just like stories. Songs were the same way. So just as there are a lot of old stories that we don't know who originally came up with them, there are a lot of old songs like this that we don't know who originally wrote them. But whoever wrote this song, I love it. Thank you. I know you're dead and gone by now, but I'm just putting it out into the universe. Thank you for writing this song, and I'm gonna sing the white version as to not be offensive. And yeah, that was, wow, I'm 11 minutes in talking about just the history of the song. Sorry. But also my history with it, and why I'm singing it, and why it's lovely and important and beautiful to me. And there's also a funny thing, and I didn't say this in my first video that I did for my family, but this is no offense to you, Mom, at all. It's the song itself. It's in the song. And there are a lot of recordings of this song. I think what's his face? Why can't I think of his name? The guy from White Christmas. Does it start with a D? Has a very deep voice. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The star of White Christmas and Holiday Inn and a bunch of old movies. The singer with the blue eyes and the low voice, whatever, that guy. I think he did a version of this song. I think I came across. And there were several others that did versions over the years, earlier on. And then the one my mom heard was, in the 70s. And then this version I'm singing was also from the 70s. It was just it was two women singing it instead of a group of women. So a lot of people have sung this song, and there just happened to be, this site that I came across that had it was using that version of the two women singing it as the key that it's in and their basis for whatever. And this site does not have a way to transpose. I didn't know that was a thing back then, although this song doesn't exist on the other site that I use that does have the transpose option. So I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But I didn't even think about, maybe I should try to figure this out in a different key. Like, that wasn't even part of my thought process back then. But the key it's in is not super hard to play. I think it's in... Actually, I'm not sure what it's in, because it's got G. It starts in G, but it also has D's and A's in it. So... it's probably the key of G, but who knows? One of you can tell me. Sorry. Oh, right. What I was going to say. At the end, there are these... See, it's E flat. It lists it as D sharp. It's E flat. And again, it's one of those things, you can look on these charts of chords for ukulele and click on D sharp and E flat, and it'll be the same chord. So I'm just like, just call it one or the other. Whatever. Anyway, so there's a note that is sung, and that's just the chord that's played when, I don't know the actual note that it starts on it, but whatever. It's a note that it's kind of a dissonant note. And even as a very young child, like, I literally remember, this is probably before I could even speak, her singing this to me in my crib and being scared of these notes. Like, what kid gets scared of music? But okay, this is how sensitive I guess I've always been to music, is that this dissonant sound kind of scared me a little bit. And I say this now because, Mom, I want you to know, don't feel bad. Like, it wasn't that I was scared of you or your voice. And I always knew that the happy note was coming at the end. So if I ever gave, I'm just curious if I ever gave you like a funny look, like while you were singing these notes, did I ever like look scared or look away or do anything funny that you ever noticed? Um, I meant to ask you when we were on the phone last time, but I didn't. Anyway, we can talk about it another time, not through this video that other people are gonna watch too. But yeah, I was literally scared of notes as a child, which is so funny. But now I can, sing this song and have no fear whatsoever, because I know it's just a part of the song and it's cool. And I don't, yeah, again, I don't know how much of this is from the original or if people added that part later on. Who knows? I think the oldest one I found was the guy I'm talking about from the movie whose name I can't think of, and this is driving me crazy now. Why can't I think of his name? Maybe it'll come to me by the end of this video, but I'm gonna try to play this song now, even though my hand is pretty sweaty. Oh, come on, fall. Where are you? Here we go. My hair on my face. And this is no fancy strumming, that's for sure. Also just decent amount of chord changes, so there's not really room for it. Or even if there is, I wouldn't do it because the chord changes are a little tricky in spots. So, here we go. Sleep Kentucky Babe, or just Kentucky Babe is what I knew it as growing up. Skeeters are a-humming on the honeysuckle vine, sweet Kentucky babe. Sandman is a-coming to this little babe of mine, sweet Kentucky babe. Silvery moons are shining in the heavens up above, probably a pining for his little lady love. You are mighty lucky, babe of old Kentucky. Close your eyes and sleep. Fly away. Fly away, Kentucky babe. Fly away to rest. Fly away. Lay your little tiny head on your mama's breast. Close your eyes and sleep. Close your eyes and sleep. So, I didn't screw up too bad. Just, oh my gosh, my hands get so sticky, and by the end when you're going D, G, D, G, back and forth, it's just, ugh. But okay, so the dissonant part I'm talking about is that but remember, she was just singing this a cappella, so all I heard was ooh, ooh. And then I think she went straight into Sleep Kentucky Babe. So it always ended on a happy note. Yeah, so I remember her singing the, lay your little, I don't know if she said tiny head or, because the original is, I think curly head. And then I've seen others, they're like Fuzzy Head or whatever. Um, I don't remember if the version if these lyrics, because I found some lyrics, not the, if you just Google the lyrics for the song, I think you'll find the more original lyrics that talk about Mammy's breast instead of mama or mommy or whatever. There's different versions that say different things. And yeah, I think just Curly and Fuzzy are Curly, Fuzzy, yeah, or Tiny. And I like Tiny because it was the least descriptive of hair type. Um, Although when I sing it to Skeletor or Wisp, I say fuzzy. Not fuzzy, furry. There we go. Fuzzy would work too, but I say they're furry head. Skeletor especially likes this song. Don't ask me why, but he does. When he okay, yeah, I'm already at 21 minutes. I might as well keep talking. Whatever. Y'all know I do this on the third. It's always the last song. I just go on and on. He likes what we call food pets. So there are cats that will, well, some will literally only eat with attention, is what they call it. Eats with attention, which means you have to be petting it or be right there beside it, talking to it, or just be beside it. I don't know. It depends on the cat of what level of attention they need. But there was one, we had the SPCA when I volunteered there, that literally would only eat when you pet it. And it had a big sign on it, like only eats with attention. So that, told us volunteers, hey, we should pet this cat pretty often to make sure it gets enough food in its belly over the course of the day. But also for any potential adopters that they need to know this about the cat. So probably a retiree or someone who's going to be working from home or home all day would need to take this cat, and is probably where it eventually went. To someone who would be there to be able to give it attention. So, but Skeletor, he doesn't have to have attention to eat, but he likes it. So he loves food pets. He loves it when I pet him while he eats. We have a ritual every morning after breakfast. I won't go through the whole thing, but part of it is Skelly Jail. It's a thing. My cats have trained me to do these crazy things, and then I come up with funny names for them. So every morning after breakfast, I do a couple things in the kitchen, and then I have to leave the light on in the dining room and leave my chair pulled out from the dining room table. He jumps up in my chair, and it's a chair that has like rungs or whatever down the back of it. So it looks like he's in jail, like he's looking through bars. So I call that Skelly Jail that he's in. And so I have to come rescue him from Skelly Jail. So I walk into the room, I pet him on the chair, then he jumps down. I follow him through the kitchen and pet him, as we walk. And then we eventually get to the food bowl. And sometimes I have to make Wisp go away because she's there eating, even though she knows that we're coming, and she's just doing it to be a butt. She does not like Skeletor sometimes. I swear, she's so jealous. But anyway, so I'll just be like, Wisp, and she'll move. But then, yeah, so he'll start eating, and I'll pet it. And at that time of day, I don't have to sing to him. I just pet him a few times, and then he's good to go. Unless something scares him and he runs away. But other times of day, he wants me to pet him while he eats, and I'll sing this song to him, and he loves it. It's just like his favorite song. So I guess I am carrying it on that way, but he can't sing it to any other cats, and both of our cats clearly have been sterilized, so they're not going to be reproducing. Why am I talking about cats reproducing and singing to each other? Oh my goodness, my imagination is just... Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about the song. Oh, right, I was trying to remember what parts I remember from childhood her singing. See, this is why I need her to record herself singing it for me. You don't have to show it to the world, Mom. This is just for me, just so I know. 'Cause I'm pretty sure she didn't do the, well, let me put it back up here so I can see it better. Because like you might have thought the part I thought was scary was the you are mighty lucky, babe of old Kentucky. Because that's a little, it's a minor. The second, goes from D to C minor. So minor chords and you are mighty lucky. Yeah, I can see that being a minor note, whatever that, or a flat note. I don't know what that note is I'm singing. But yeah, I could see that also potentially being scary to my funny childhood sensitive musical ears. But that, no, I don't remember her singing that part at all. So, but maybe the moon part. So maybe the first, like, the skeeters are hummin', same man as a comin', silvery moon's a shining. I don't know if she did the fly away part. I honestly am not sure. And then I remember the lay your tiny head, or whatever head, I don't know how she said it, on your mama's breast, and then the dissonant sounding notes. And then I think she just ended it with Sleep Kentucky Babe, or Sweet Kentucky Babe, whatever. Yeah. I think that's everything I need to say about that song, but it's always going to be one that's important to me. And I remember her singing it also to my niece Edie, love you, Edie, when she was a baby. And, I don't know how long, and I'm sure she sang it to Lucas, my nephew, as well, who is, they're both musical children. So I don't know if they remember that or not. I hope so, because that's the legacy, really, is her singing it to them. And if they remember it and then want to sing it to their kids someday, if they decide to have them, then that's how it would continue in our family. But that's just, I wanted to tell y'all like how it even came to be in our family, because it's not something my mom grew up hearing. It's just she happened to hear it on a TV show in the 70s and it's stuck in her head. And she, she didn't go like buy an album that it was on or something. If it was on an album, like they may have just sung it for that show. Like the recording I found on YouTube, I think it sounded like a live recording. It just had like a picture of them. It wasn't a video recording, but I think it had people clapping and stuff at the end. So I don't know. And the other one was definitely a live recording, because there were people clapping, and it was an obvious like set, that they would set up for such things on those old shows. I still can't think of that guy's name. I'm going to go ask Adam, and he's going to tell me in 2 seconds, and I'm going to feel like the biggest moron. My brain keeps wanting to say Barry Manilow, which I know is wrong. So that's why I can't. Why? Why is his name gone from my head? And then I want to say Drew Barrymore, which is obviously not right either. That's why I think it starts with a D. Because Danny Kaye was the co-star in White Christmas. Danny Kaye and arguably the more famous of the two. Although to me, Danny Kaye is the more famous. He's the one I grew up loving. Whatever. I'm going to stop even trying to think of the guy's name, because it's clearly not going to come to me right now, and that's okay. Y'all are all laughing at me, I'm sure, screaming it at the screen. Hoping I can hear it in the past. I'm listening. It's not coming. It's not coming. As soon as I like hit stop, it's gonna pop into my head. Whatever, it's fine. Sorry for an almost 30-minute video. Oh geez, it's ridiculous. But now I am free to do whatever songs I want. I don't know yet what the next song will be, or next songs. So that will be a surprise for both you and I. But yeah, I'm gonna totally end this one now, because it's so very long and I went on such tangents, and yay! Rick, I hope you enjoyed this one. He's my crazy friend that will stick around for all of this crazy talk because it's like a conversation with me, which is adorable. I love you, Rick. I miss you too. I definitely look forward to being able to be in person having these conversations again. Hopefully someday soon. Love you all. Hope you're having great days and see you soon. Bye.